It's simply impossible for movies to be magical without a certain degree of deception on the part of the filmmakers and the cast themselves. While many actors will often reveal how the sausage is made after the fact, there are those who prefer to keep their secrets, some even vowing to take them to the grave rather than give them up. So, with that being said, I'm Jem from WhatCulture.com, and here are 9 movie truths actors won't reveal. Number 9. Which joke did Fox make Ryan Reynolds cut from Deadpool 2? While promoting Deadpool 2, Ryan Reynolds told Entertainment Weekly that there was one joke so wild in the original cut of the movie that Fox, which was in the middle of being acquired by Disney at the time, forced Reynolds to remove it. Sadly, Reynolds stopped short of revealing the content of the joke, which of course only made fans all the more curious about it. From reading between the lines of what Reynolds said about the offensive gag, he seemed to imply that it was either Disney related or broached subject matter that would ruffle feathers during the aforementioned merger. Reynolds nevertheless praised Disney for being mostly hands-off with Deadpool 2's production and ultimately opened that cutting the joke in question was probably a wise decision. With sequel Deadpool and Wolverine clearly showing Disney's willingness to let Deadpool be Deadpool, it's a shame that Reynolds still hasn't broken his silence on the matter. Number 8. What did Jessica see? Sarah Paulson in Bird Box. Near the start of Netflix's viral hit Bird Box, protagonist Mallory, played by Sandra Bullock's sister Jessica, Sarah Paulson, sees something which prompts her to crash her car, emerge from the wreckage and promptly walk into traffic, killing herself. While we know that Bird Box is about entities which force those who look at them to end it all, the movie never shows what the creature looks like. Though director Suzanne Bier originally planned to show them, and the scrap designs were eventually revealed by the VFX team, because they were never part of the movie, they're not strictly speaking canon. And so Bloody Disgusting asked Paulson what she imagined Jessica to be seeing in the moments before she crashed the car, only for Paulson to take the fifth. She said, "Oh, that's something I'm not going to share. I mean, it's sort of the magic of movie making." Paulson would only confirm that during shooting she was looking at nothing and had no visual clue whatsoever for how to react. Number 7. What secrets did Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman tell Stanley Kubrick while filming Eyes Wide Shut? Stanley's final film, Eyes Wide Shut, is a mesmerising examination of marriage and sexuality centred around couple Bill and Alice Hartford, played by Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. And to prepare for the drama, Cruise and Kidman underwent psychoanalysis sessions with the director. In these sessions, Kubrick reportedly had the pair, who at the time were married in real life, confess their fears about their own marriage in an attempt to find parallels with the stricken couple they played on screen. With the trio making a confidentiality agreement for the sessions, Kidman claimed that they were brutally honest and that Tom would hear things that he did not want to hear. But given the high-profile nature of the duo's marriage and 2001 divorce, it's tough not to be curious about precisely what they dished out during those sessions. Between the secrecy pact and the fact that Kubrick passed away mere days after completing the final cut of Eyes Wide Shut, though, it'll surely be left to our imagination forevermore. Number 6. Who screamed at Rebecca Ferguson on a major movie? While on the press tour for Dune Part 2 earlier this year, Rebecca Ferguson revealed that she was once screamed at by an absolute idiot of a co-star who was being so insecure and angry because this person could not get the scenes out. This person said to Ferguson, "You call yourself an actor? This is what I have to work with. What is this?" Leaving the actress scared and upset, though she nevertheless stood her ground and called out the actor's inappropriate behaviour. This naturally prompted many to speculate on the identity of Ferguson's aggressor, and though she swiftly confirmed it was not Tom Cruise or Hugh Jackman, she wouldn't reveal who they were, and only that they were number 1 on the call sheet. Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt soon enough offered messages of support, seemingly taking themselves off the list of suspects, while the internet focused in on the likes of Hugh Grant, Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Fassbender as possible culprits. Months later, Ferguson clearly is not lifting the lid on the matter, so short of the person themselves fessing up, it'll be one for fans to whisper about until the end of time. Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below, and while you're there, drop us a like, share and subscribe too. Number 5. Which Spider-Man wore a fake butt? Tom Holland, SpiderMan No Way Home. Shortly after the release of Spider-Man No Way Home, star Tom Holland let slip to Seth Meyers that one of the other Spider-Man actors in the movie, either Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield, had a fake butt built into their suit. This naturally sent the internet into a tailspin as everyone examined Maguire and Garfield's posteriors in the movie in a frankly unsettling forensic degree of detail. For his part, Garfield claimed that his behind was totally unmodified, though stopped short of throwing Maguire under the bus. If we look at the facts, Maguire is probably the most likely candidate for some wardrobe assistance, being the oldest of the three Spider-Men and also having the lowest profile in terms of screen roles these days. But on the other hand, it's worth considering that Garfield could have simply been lying, either for a laugh or for his own vanity. It's hardly serious business, of course, but at the very least, Holland is not going to drop either his co-stars in it. Number 4, what is the man with no name's real name? Clint Eastwood, The Dollars Trilogy. Unsurprisingly, the man with no name, Clint Eastwood from legendary Dollars Trilogy, has never been officially named. In each of the 3 films, he's gone by different nicknames: Joe in A Fistful of Dollars, Manco for A Few Dollars More, and Blondie, the good, the bad, and the ugly, but that's it. And while the enigmatic nature of the character in many ways defines his appeal, that doesn't stop many from wishing that they knew his real identity. But of course, with his creator Leone passing away back in 1989, the only remaining person with any authority to speak on the name with no name would be Eastwood himself. And given that a 94-year-old Eastwood has kept his mouth shut on the matter for the better part of 6 decades, why would he change that now? It's probably for the best if we never knew the truth, as agonising as that might be for some to accept. Number 3, what happened on set? Anya Taylor-Joy in Furiosa: A Mad Max Saga. Furiosa: A Mad Max Saga was largely well received by critics and audiences alike, with plenty of praise afforded to Anya Taylor-Joy for her fierce performance as a younger version of Furiosa, as part originated by Charlize Theron in Mad Max Fury Road. And though it seemed like Furiosa's production went considerably smoother than Fury Road's, which admittedly leaves a ton of leeway, Taylor-Joy made some vague insinuations during the movie's press tour that it was no picnic at all. In an interview with the New York Times, the actress discussed the challenges of shooting the film, that she had never been more alone than making that movie. When the journalist asked Taylor-Joy what she found more difficult on set than expected, she simply replied, "Next question, sorry, talk to me in 20 years. Talk to me in 20 years. This naturally led fans to speculate on the specifics of Taylor-Joy's experience, and while it doesn't necessarily suggest anything untoward happened, it sure doesn't sound like it was a pleasant world for her to inhabit for many months. Well, hopefully somebody will catch up with her in 2044 and get the full lowdown. Number 2, was Chrismanx really the sheriff? The Hateful Eight. Of the numerous narrative threads left hanging at the end of The Hateful Eight, the audience is left to ponder whether or not Chrismanx really was the newly appointed sheriff of Red Rock or not. We know that Mannix claimed to be such, but given that the movie is premised around the potential dishonesty of all its central characters, there's no guarantee he's telling the truth. In a recent interview with GQ, Walton Goggins was asked about this and provided an insightful non-answer that charmingly will not satisfy anyone. He said, "Am I the sheriff of Red Rock? You know, I asked Quentin that question and he said, that's for you to decide and I don't want to know your answer. And so I did decide, and no one will ever know my answer." There you have it. Goggins is the only person on earth that knows the truth, but he'll be taking it to the grave. And number 1, which director almost ruined Anthony Mackie's career? In a recent interview with Variety, Anthony Mackey revealed that he nearly lost out on the role that kickstarted his career because of an awful director he worked with in the past, yet won't name. Mackey said that he had been hired to appear in Best Picture winning war thriller The Hurt Locker, but his involvement was thrown into jeopardy because of another ultimately unreleased movie he was working on that had run over schedule by 6 months. Due to the scheduling drama, The Hurt Locker's director ended up offering Mackey's part to another actor, and it's only because the actor rejected the offer that the production agreed to wait for Mackey to finish up his commitments on the other project. Mackey wouldn't fully name and shame the director who almost cost him the part that put him on the map, though he did drop his first name, Dan. And while it's certainly bad etiquette in Hollywood to badmouth your peers, it's probably just a matter of time before internet sleuths figure out who the filmmaker in question really is.